So in the last video, we prepared a 250 ml solution of copper sulfate with a concentration of exactly 0.1 moles per liter. Now in this video, we're going to be doing a dilution. So what that means is we're going to be taking some of that liquid, putting it into another volumetric flask. We're going to be measuring that amount of liquid exactly. And then we're going to be filling the rest of the volumetric flask up with water to dilute our solution, thus reducing its concentration. Now to do that, I'm going to be bringing in a volumetric pipette. Now, a volumetric pipette is made of glass as well. It has a single mark, usually, to mark out one particular volume exactly. It's really high precision. So this one is a 25 mil volumetric pipette. I'm attaching a filler. I was trying to show you, but I kind of missed the camera. What I'm trying to get at here is, or show you, is that when you are putting the filler and the pipette together, that you put, or that you hold the top end of the pipette really close to where you're about to insert it rather than holding it at the end. What can happen is that the stem can actually end up snapping and you can stab yourself in the wrist, which isn't ideal, but I'll show you that in person in class next time. What I can then do is place the pipette into the flask, and there's a dial on the filler, which means that it will draw up the liquid like a straw. So I do that really slowly, especially when it gets to the end, because it will draw up the top part of the glassware quite quickly. I then take the filler off and catch it with my thumb in the same way that you can stop liquid flowing out of a straw. What I'm then going to do is let out water, and it's a little bit hard to see. Again, I'm lining up the level of the water with the mark that's on the pipette. Again, I'll show you that when we get into class. And then draining that out into this volumetric flask here. Now this one measures out exactly 100 mils. So I'm putting 25 mils of solution into here exactly. And then we're going to be adding a further 75 mils of water into the volumetric flask in a second. So that's all filled. Notice as well that I cap the other flask in case I knock it over. And then I've put it away to the side. I've got my funnel again, and I'm just going to be adding water, not all the way up to the mark. We want it to be fairly close. I usually stop right before I get to the bottleneck inside the flask. I'm then going to add slowly with a beaker. It gives me a little bit more controlled pouring. Or actually, I'm not even going to be using a beaker. I must be pretty close to the mark. Trying to show you. Obviously, it didn't work so well. So I'm going to fill drop-wise, making sure again that the bottom of the meniscus, the curved part of the top surface of the water, is exactly in line with the mark that on this flask measures out exactly 100 mils. Hopefully we can see there quite clearly that the meniscus has lined up exactly. And all I'm going to be doing at the end is again capping, holding the cap down, and then inverting to mix to ensure that the concentration is evenly distributed all throughout the flask.